folks, welcome to the next video focused on the research process. I'll be moving pretty fast on this one, so once again use your pause button if you need to take a little break. So what I'm going to be doing this time, you noticed in my last video that what I like to do when I'm doing research is I like to get a paper copy of everything that I'm going to use as a source, read it, and highlight it and annotate it with a highlighter so that I can highlight those really important quotes. Not everybody has the opportunity to do that. You might not have a printer at home, you might not be able to do that. So I'm going to teach you how to do that using a program called Acrobat PRO, which is right here. I've already got it loaded here, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a folder on my desktop that I can use to organize my files. So I'm going to call these NH National History Day Essay. Alright, and I'm going to put my files in here. So here's my EBSCO. These are my sources that I've selected, right? They're not random websites. They are high quality sources. Some of them you'll notice are PDF files, like these, right? Like here's a PDF file. And some of them are HTML. And so the process for saving those is slightly different. I will do an HTML file first. So the first thing you're going to want to do is open it up. And over here you have a bunch of options. You're going to go to Save, and it's going to give you some options here. You want to make sure that you have HTML full text checked. It's also going to put a citation on there, which is helpful, but when I hit Save, I'm not quite done yet. So what it's done is transferred the file and all this information into what's an HTML browser file, and I'm going to save that to my desktop. So I'm going to hit Save As. I'm going to turn this into, this is from the papers, this is the toast. So, you'll find out that this is actually really important. This is Nixon's toast, I'll just call it that, and I'll save it to my desktop. So now that is going to be on my desktop, right? And here's the actual HTML file. I'm not interested in these, I can throw those away. This is what I want. So I'm going to open this up using Acrobat PRO, and here it is as a PDF file, and you can see that it's set up so that I can highlight things like this. I can highlight that simply. Let's see, where's my little tool here? Let's see, rotate. There we go. So I can use this to highlight things. Let's say if I wanted to use that quote, and I can save it permanently. So I'm going to save this as a PDF, and it's called Toast Nixon. I'm going to save it on my desktop. There it is. So now I don't need this HTML file anymore. I can throw that away. I've got a beautiful PDF here. I can change it. I can do whatever I want using Adobe Acrobat PRO, and I can keep it in my folder. So the process for the other files, for the PDFs, is a little bit different. It's actually easier. So let's see, here's a PDF right here. I can just open this one up, and there it is as a PDF. Now if I just hit the save over here, there's a couple different places to save it. One is download. I think this is the safest way to do it, is if you hit download PDF right here. Now it'll come up as just a regular PDF file in my browser, and I can hit this file folder here. And this is what? I'll just save this as Murray. You can see I'm getting to know these documents better as well as I'm naming them and I'm sorting them, kind of getting to become friends with them, which is a good thing. You can see how different this is than just picking some stuff off the internet and saying, oh yeah, I've got a file here, it's from a quote from the, I don't know, from the internet. But now, if I open up this PDF in Acrobat PRO, once again, if I find things that are important, I can highlight it, and it will stay highlighted. So I've got that. Oops, that's not what I want to do. I want to use my highlighter. I can highlight this right here for an example, and that's going to stay highlighted. So when I read it later, I can go, oh yeah, that's that part that I was thinking about using as my quote. So after I make any changes, including that highlighting, I want to make sure that I save it as a PDF again, and this will go over. I do want it to replace it because this has got my annotation on it. It's got my, oh, you can see it right there. So I'll stop this now, and I'll show you what you can do with this information once you have all of your files organized So now I've got 2 PDFs in here, and I'll put the rest over there off camera and then come back and talk to you about the next step. All right, I'm back. So what I have done now is I have loaded all of my resources into Acrobat Pro and turn them into PDFs. And what this allows me to do is to have a nice format for reading them, but I can, if I wanted to, I could make annotations, but what I'm doing is I'm just using them to highlight things that I think might be quotes that I use in my essay. So this is a really great source here. It was written in 1946. It's got some cool pictures, but more importantly, it's got a quote that I could use in my paper, which is a quote from Duke Ellington and his attitude towards Jim Crow. If you don't know what Jim Crow laws are, probably want to find that out. It's about his music crossing the color line. And if you'll remember from my previous videos, the color line is something that's one of my big claims that is part of my thesis. So that might be a great quote because it's from the time that he was writing music and it references that color line. What else have I found? Oh, this is pretty... wait a minute. What am I looking for? Here it is right here. It was in one of these Nixon remarks here that I think is going to turn into the hook for my essay. And it's just right here, but I've highlighted it, and that way I'll remember it when I start inserting things into my paper. It was at when Duke Ellington got that Presidential Medal of Freedom I talked about. The President of the United States played a piano song for him and sang for his birthday. And considering another reading that I read stated that Duke Ellington's grandfather, I believe, had been a servant at the White House. And this is the grandson of someone who used to serve dinner to people at the White House, being serenaded on the piano by the President of the United States. I think that that should be something that should go in the hook to my essay. So again, this is just a way to organize your documents and your thinking so you can be successful on this difficult project.